Welcome
Yay.
to, yeah, welcome to Sacred Soul Mornings. We're in chapter 22 of the Tao Te Ching because we
Yes.
like this book and many other books. And we're trying to figure out spirituality with many things.
Yeah.
This is such a cool chapter. The last one was just very like, this is the Tao. The Tao's around us. We love the Tao. It's everywhere. And it was like the whole book was the same thing, right? This chapter
hmm
is like, oh, by the way, just in case you forget, this may not be so comfortable.
And it's true. It's true. But it is a good chapter. I enjoyed reading it and then reading commentaries about it. Kind of very encouraging on a day-to-day basis. We talk to each
Oh,
other
yeah.
uh, 4 or 5 days a week, and it usually involves some kind of spirituality thing.
Well,
And
it
so,
involves an anchoring back to this belief system a lot of times because,
mhm.
you can get going on the rolling of whatever's, the earthly experience, and then go, oh, yeah, by the way, let's
Mhm.
go back to a Taoist principle with this. And then you're like, yeah, well, this is, yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense.
And I was had just mentioned to you a minute ago about the podcast I listened to that's called The God Journey by Wayne Jacobson. I'm always referring to that because it gives me comfort. But anyway,
Well, hold on a minute. I want to share. You had been part of the God journey, and I was at the beginning when it was still an email.
yeah,
Um, what was that
that
called? I
was
can't remember that forum, an email forum thing that they like would
um,
send around. It was a very small group of people. You kind of
mhm.
got to the point of like thinking you knew who they were, like
Yeah, yeah.
friends. You're like, oh, they're missing. Oh, they're in the hospital. Oh, they're and so the God journey has been like 20 years now, probably almost, maybe 15.
Well, it is for them, and I jumped in on it, I guess, about 11 or 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's cool anyway. So it's been interesting to watch them develop too.
And it is kind of like, well, anyway, like I
Yeah.
know who they are, but
Yeah.
anyway, um, and so he had on one of the last ones that I listened to, he said, "Welcome to the God journey." And he goes, "But I want you to know this isn't my journey." And then he said some other things. He goes, "I'm just a supporting actor in a greater drama that's not just about me." And so this is what, Megan and I have talked about these things
Sounds
about
Taoist.
this is, and he didn't know it.
He doesn't
I
know
don't,
it.
I
I
don't think he did.
know. Well, it's
Mhm.
because it's not Taoist, it's life. That's the thing.
It's
So
just what it is.
mystic Christian religion, whatever you want to call it, the mystic lenses that gosh, language is failing me with this.
Mhm. It's
The
okay.
mystic interpretations of some world religions are very similar, and we see no problem with that. And I'm sure if he accidentally picks up a Winnie the Pooh Taoist book, he'll go, oh,
Oh, wow, this is
it's the
cool.
same.
I didn't know I felt this way. I feel like I
Yeah.
got a lot of light over here on the side of me. Is it
It must
okay?
be very beautifully sunny there. Mm.
All
So in
right.
chapter 22, the title of mine is Embracing the One, which is such a lovely, cute little title. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, blah,
Well,
embrace it while you're slapped. No. What does yours say?
mm, yeah. And yours said it in a very eloquent
Oh, it
way.
did. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
read it the first time, I'm sure I read it the first million times. And I was like, that's nice.
All this
But it's
figurative
not.
language.
What's the
Mhm.
title of yours?
The title of mine is, and kind of like yours in a way, The Only Path to Wholeness.
Oh, sounds so nice, doesn't it? Nice. Ooh, what does that path look like? Okay, so we're talking about the journey of life, right?
hmm
And everybody's journey. And what does that path look like? Some of the things in mine I could say real quick. This is not an easy translation. Okay. The first time I read it, I thought, well, the first time I read it recently, I don't know what I thought a long time ago, was this is all about humility. You need to be humble, the meek shall inherit the earth. And yeah, that's part of it. But it also talks about how you get to be that person for you to inherit the earth. So the
hmm
curved is whole. I think they were talking about the moon. I read something about that. The moon doesn't completely go away when it's just the little sliver, it's still there.
Excellent.
Okay. But
hmm
you may not be able to see it all because the light is not illuminating the entire portion,
Good. Yeah.
the
Mhm.
light of enlightenment. Um, the twisted is straight, so it's made straight. I think here they were talking about a rope, how it can tangle or a caterpillar and metamorphosis becomes a butterfly. The hollow fool, the worn new, the poorly endowed attain their goal, the greatly endowed go astray. Da 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 da. And it keeps going.
Mhm.
But your version doesn't make it just seem so passive, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you want to share what yours said? It might be easier to understand with an English translation that's less
Well,
literal.
and it begins with like these what is it called? I
You
can't think of the
know,
word.
I love how we just
No,
put
no, no.
with,
But anyway,
well, I mean,
talking
but
about
diabolical. No,
paradoxes,
paradoxes, yes.
opposites, maybe. So, a little bit of that began with this, for example, what seemed worn out is seen as fresh and new. What seemed lacking is seen as an abundance. And then I skipped down and possessing little, we are content, too much stuff, and we lose our way. So when I was reading this, I thought, okay, it's talking about being content with what we have.
Being
But then I
happy.
go on down and read, when we reside at the center, our actions nurture all things. We don't act out of ego needs, so our actions are enlightened. We don't claim to be perfect. And this is the part that I started connecting with. We don't claim to be perfect, so our ideas are welcomed. And I was thinking about communication with other people. We aren't looking
Like that.
for
Mhm.
we aren't looking for rewards, so our teaching is enduring and accessible to all. I'm a teacher, retired. I'm a teacher. I probably will always be a teacher in some kind of way, and I like that. We don't try to control or convince anyone, so opposition is not an issue. And then this part right here, accept what is and find it to be perfect, is not an idle phrase. Acceptance of life is the only path to wholeness. And we've been talking about accepting things lately, it seems like. And what does that mean? And
Yeah,
it doesn't mean just resigning yourself. Okay, I don't enjoy this.
this is my
I'm
lot in life.
Yeah,
My
it's not
lot. I
that.
hate
It
it.
means being able to see it and know that there's more. And I think that's what we were getting
And
around
not
to.
more later, not more later when you're dead and go to a special
Yeah.
happy heaven place, but more
Hmm.
right now in
Yeah.
the action of things that you cannot see with your own eyes.
Hmm.
So, like when we were talking about like how this might apply in your own life specifically, right? So maybe not all of us, but all of us who are like seeker type people, we might really feel this strong desire to trust our own voice and to be heard and to be
Hmm.
strong in it, no matter if
Yeah.
people like it or not. Because
Hmm.
also a lot of us are people pleasers.
Definitely.
But
Hmm.
yeah. And so I think that's a very common um, personality trait that makes up that type of Dharma person. Anyway, and so when you're like, like, even I can remember literally being a little child and already having this goal in my life. I might not have been able to verbalize it, but I knew I wanted to be heard. Not like publicly, not like famously. I mean, just my voice.
Understood.
Understood
Understood.
and valued for what I said. That
Hmm.
was it. So I
Yeah.
deserve that, right?
Hmm.
Then the flow comes in. Then the Tao, all the energy that is everything outside of us, hears
Hmm.
that, shapes it. How
Hmm.
best do we shape this? By putting you in situations of which you have to use your voice
Which is
and
the
growing
opposite.
it.
That's that dichotomy. Is that the word?
Dichotomy,
Yeah.
yes.
That's that. And
Balancing.
we
It
talked
is
about
being,
way a long time ago, chapter one or two or three, or
yes,
about yin yang and
the
uh,
male and female forces. It says in here, even what someone else said later on about this chapter, um, to embrace the one, you need to be the woman, not the man. The man is, remember, if you remember that old chapters or even in the Bible, the masculine force. We're not talking about male and female sexuality or even gender roles or whatever we
mhm,
want to say. We're talking about
mhm,
the external versus the subconscious hidden movements. So you
mhm,
want to be able to be shaped by the hidden movements of what's around you and receive that
mhm,
and feel comfortable in the receiving of it that yes, I am being shaped by the master. I am being shaped by the flow of everything to be the way I seek to be. Now, there is an element of seeking, though you don't have to participate.
mhm. Yeah. exactly. But if you want to participate, then there's going to be some of this
Sure.
happening, happening. And I know, can I read what Richard
Yeah.
Rohr said a little bit, which
Yes.
kind of meshes a little bit. It's so fun when we find we don't talk about this really through the week. And you do your own little investigating, and I do my own investigating, and then we kind of see what comes together. But anyway, he said, good dying is unto something bigger and better. So that's kind of that shaping business going on. And then bad dying, that means taking on suffering for trying to do the right thing, is unprofitable for anyone.
Ah, yeah.
God wants a joyous yes inside of everyone. I'm going to say something, but I don't know if it's the same thing. But
What I'm
anyway,
thinking. Mhm.
that show,
Oh, it wasn't thinking of that show, but I was thinking of something
oh,
similar. But no, that show's a wonderful thing. You can say the show.
happy, what is it?
Shiny,
Smiling,
shiny,
what is it?
happy people. It's got
Shiny, happy.
a wonderful happy face emoji on it. And
Mhm.
I think it's on Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons. Season two, however, is incredibly more exciting than season one, if anybody needs to be triggered.
And it
I
was.
was yelling at my television.
Watched. But anyway, so and that made me think of taking on suffering for trying to do the right thing. And those
Oh
people
man,
there that they thought they were doing the right thing.
that's
Still, there are
your
people out there
ignorance. They thought they were doing the
doing
right
this.
thing. And I guess
Mm,
I was thinking in a more nice way, but maybe
okay, I'm
not though,
sorry.
because it's
I
not necessarily
brought
nice, because this is the root of this stuff too. I was thinking, okay, I'll even think of something a little bit nicer
good
than
thing.
that. Okay. I'm not even going to go
Something a
down the path
little
of Christianity. Let's go Taoist. Okay.
okay.
So I went to a Tai Chi class this morning again, which I've not done
Oh,
in like 10 years. Even though
mm-hmm.
I love it. That's great. And I went to the same lady I went to 10 years ago. And
Oh,
you've gone to Tai Chi. We understand Tai Chi-ishness
yeah.
and enjoy it. However, and it's a great practice for many reasons. I'm not going to belittle the practice, but it wasn't developed until maybe the 1600s
Mm-hmm.
as a channeling of the what
Oh, go ahead. As a
the
martial art.
as a martial art, but a martial art based on the chi, based on the more feminine energy around us, maybe. But the making it into a martial art turned it more into the masculine part, and
Okay.
then there are benefits to it. But
Mm-hmm.
throughout history, there have been people who are Taoists that have gone, we're taking this way too seriously. This is way
Mm-hmm.
too serious. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is too serious. I mean, you could literally probably go out in your field and do whatever you want to do with your body to still cultivate some of the benefits. Okay, because there's
Right.
structured positions. It's important to have certain things about it. And there's a value to that too, because the structure turns off that language part of your brain to where you can access flow.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could turn it into some kind of a martyred thing where I've got to do this so that I can be a whatever master Tai Chi person in this
Mm-hmm.
specific way. And then when it turns into something like that, you're not
Mm-hmm.
you're not balanced anymore. If you decide that which I would love to probably, but a lot of people that go into a monastic life, I
Mm-hmm.
talked about that this morning. If you went to a monastic life, but it's with the wrong purpose, and you never arrive at the fact that you're doing it so that you can seek more shaping by the external things you can't see. It
Mm-hmm.
turns into a system of what you have to do and what you can't do, and that makes you unhappy.
Expectations. Mm-hmm.
So, Happy Shiny People is about a fundamentalist evangelical Christian group, which is apparently was going on across the country, and we weren't part of that because we were even more fundamental that we couldn't do that because that was too fun. That had been like way too fun. So I had no idea that they were doing things like recruiting children and having paramilitary
Me
displays
neither.
with guns and flags and wrestling and trucks. And I had no idea. And these were like some of my peers were going to these things, Baptists and Christian church and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but we weren't allowed to listen to that kind of Christian music because it
Mm-hmm.
was better for us to listen to
Very
secular music than Christian
worldly.
music. So we
Yeah.
just were like, sure, let's listen to Michael Jackson. Um,
No, I like my
I do too. But
questions.
anyway, it's just so funny. So we were kind of spared from that. We were kind of spared from that
Yeah,
brainwashing that happens whenever
yeah,
you
and that's
are
big.
trying to attain doing what's right without it
Yeah,
being driven by the right force. You
yeah.
alone cannot attain what's doing right. We're not the whole. We're just one little bitty sliver
Mhm.
on the
Part of
tree.
an actor in the drama
Yeah. And
in a
us of
play.
our own force, force
Mm-hmm.
is not good ever, can't attain anything for the whole that's going to be good
Mm-hmm.
unless it comes from the nurturing of source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't worry, source is going to nurture you one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
You just may not like it.
Yeah.
And they're the people who are participating in that kind of political Christian fascism,
Mm-hmm.
fascist type behavior right now. Part of this, don't worry, is being shaped by the Tao, and they are reaping that. It may
Mm-hmm.
not be right now. We may have to have like a longer
I
arc.
have to, and that's the um hope, not just hope. Hope is not the word. That is the faith, I guess you could
That's
say
the
it.
faith.
The faith that
The
yes,
choosing to believe that
things
yes,
are going
it's going to be balanced. Yes, we are going to come into a new Dharma type. It's all been done
to. Mm-hmm.
over and over the same cycles, and
Mm-hmm.
we will move into another. I keep saying another Dharma type. Dharma is a life purpose type. Uh, that will happen, but we have to feel a need for it as a entire culture, and a lot of people will feel the need for it. And I think we are being shaped. A lot of us are being shaped to realize what we do not like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
extremely, because we might have put up with it on a small scale. Like I might have
Mm-hmm.
been like, oh, it's not, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I can handle the Ten Commandments, whatever. I can
Mm-hmm.
handle it. Like I don't believe that we need to do that in the schools, but I'm okay. I'm like, well, there's ways to get around it. I could put up other things too. We could talk about world religions. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it keeps pushing more and more.
Mm-hmm. That
I,
shaping.
I couldn't support some of the things going on in school
And
anymore.
it's taken some big shaping in order to say, hey, I can't go back there anymore. Go
And
back and be that same
no,
person doing that.
and
Having,
for us who are seekers on this journey, it is literally impossible for me to go back at this point and be that complacent. And
mm-hmm,
so the Tao, just as everyone is shaping me to not be that kind of person
yeah,
by allowing it. You don't have to allow it, I guess. You can also stand there and go, I
yeah,
don't feel this. I
like,
like feeling icky.
yeah, hanging on to that stick in the flow of the river.
It is. And it all
Again,
goes
that's right.
back to feelings, doesn't it? You know,
Mm-hmm,
we ignore our feelings. We are taught to ignore our feelings, and we
mm-hmm,
can't determine what is right or wrong,
mm-hmm,
flow or not flow, being in harmony or not, because we don't have a good compass on how we feel. And so when you have children in that show
mm-hmm,
being put in mud for 2 days and threatened with guns, which would
mm-hmm,
be attempted murder in
mm-hmm,
most places, but not there.
mm-hmm,
They couldn't go, this feels icky.
mm-hmm. Well,
This
they
feels
wanted to
dangerous.
break them down and not let them, they wanted to anyway,
Yeah,
teach
and the
them to
grown-ups couldn't go, you
pay
know
attention
what?
to them.
This feels icky. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. They were
Mm-hmm,
going with their words. This is a good thing.
mm-hmm,
And so everybody goes, oh, it's a good thing. Okay.
mm-hmm.
That's scary when you don't have that internal compass to protect yourself.
Yeah. It was eye-opening, that's for sure. And I didn't really mean to bring that up like this,
Oh,
but
that's where
it's
we are.
well, and anybody out there, I mean, you may agree with it, you may have been a part of it, you may be a part of it. I don't know, but um, and if not, then you might want to learn about it. Who knows
I
about what's
strongly
going
doubt
on?
anybody that feels that way would get through 5 minutes of clicking on
Uh,
the Tao Te Ching.
I
Number
think you're,
one, females.
yeah.
Number two has something that sounds Asian on it. It's true. So we're pretty safe on that. We did get a new subscriber. Yay for us.
Thank you. That's good.
Small but mighty group.
Yeah. Okay.
We've
We're
got
good.
about 5 minutes left. Is there
Okay.
anything specific hanging out in your notes for this chapter?
Um, uh, I know that I think I said everything that I was going to say. Um, I could read a Bible verse,
Yeah. Read a Bible
John
verse.
John 3 and 8. The wind
I
blows.
like how you said that with the intonation, like a preacher.
That was good. But anyway, the wind blows wherever it pleases.
A good one.
I love this verse. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. Then I put down connection, my connection. Flowing like this frees us up to respond to the spontaneity of what's happening around us, rather than putting so much emphasis on our own plans and strategies. Makes me think of you and your new way of approaching your profession.
It is. I have freedom to approach my profession that way now. And it's been scary, but it's turning out well. But I mean, it could even be on a small level, this intuitive guidance by those who led by the wind, the spirit. Which, by the way, when I was little sitting in church, I had no clue what that meant, but I thought about it a lot. And now it makes sense. I used to really try to grasp it because I was
Yeah.
like, there's no ghosts, so I don't know. I was looking for it, but they aren't there because there's no ghost. I don't know. But the Holy Spirit, it could even be as intuitive as, getting that inner compass, figuring out that you really need to go get a juice this morning at the store for $6 instead of going, I have no money, I have no money, I have no money. Because that thought wouldn't have popped into your head unless there was another reason. You may run into someone. You
Oh,
may you literally need the spinach in your body. It doesn't have to be
mhm,
anything big. You may
mhm.
have a thought while you're driving by a place. There's so many unknowns about why you need to follow your inner compass.
Yeah, yeah.
And either you're going to follow it by listening to your inner feelings, or you're going to be pushed by external forces to follow your inner compass. By
Yay.
going, oh, you haven't eaten any vegetables in 4 months? How's your digestion?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
Yeah, it is true. And it may not always be pleasant, but we can have faith by
Mhm,
choosing to believe in the fact that everything is working toward the good. Everything is part of the Tao and working towards the good. I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible too.
mhm, oh, definitely. Yeah.
For them who believe.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well,
it's working toward good for everyone, but for them who believe,
some don't know it.
yeah,
Some don't.
that's that moment where the belief is you have to have something to anchor you in that belief. And so for me, whenever I have moments, and we'll wrap up in a second, whenever I have moments continuously of, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, our family's going to die, we have no money,
Mhm,
when it happens, you wake up in the morning and you go, oh my gosh, where's my husband's car? I don't know, did he make it to work?
mhm,
Or, oh my gosh, my daughter just texted me. Get this. Mom, we see two baby bear cubs. They're in Tennessee. We see two baby bear cubs. The Jeep doors are off. Oh no, here comes the big bear. And I don't hear back from her. Then I go, oh, my trigger is the Lord is my shepherd. I don't have to say the rest of it because I got it memorized. But that's my trigger. My Lord is my shepherd. That's my trigger to go, everything's working out for good. And it can be your own version. And so I am trying to retrain that neuronal loop in my brain of adrenal pumping because there's no reason not to. It's
mhm,
always more fun to believe than not. You gain nothing from not believing.
mhm.
That's the truth.
Yeah, it's truth.
But you can be brutally honest. People like to say that, but there's no benefit to your life.
Well, it's kind of like that, at the beginning of this, when you're reading it, that about the teacher or whatever. Uh, we aren't looking for rewards, so our teaching is enduring and accessible to all. We don't claim to be perfect, so our ideas are welcomed.
I love that.
Don't act out of our ego, so our actions are enlightened. Anyway,
I love
so thank
that.
you, Lao.
Yep. Thank you, Lao Tzu, for leaving breadcrumbs and for whoever kept all these writings for so many years.
Yes,
I'm sure that Al knew we needed this. Mhm.
yes, Thou and I thank God. I think
Yep.
my word, God. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I love it.
Title of the next chapter, real quick.
What's the name? What's
Chapter 23, A Seamless, Joyful Whole.
I didn't mean to roll my eyes, but to flow with the Tao.
What?
To flow with the Tao.
Okay. It will flow.
Oh, it does look interesting.
Okay.
And we continue on with our living meditation. Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Mom. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you.
I'm sure we will
You
remind each other
too.
of this chapter all week.
Yes, we will. Bye, everybody.
Life is a
Bye.
journey, not a checklist. So enjoy the ride.
All right.
Bye.